All right, I've got an app, a slideshow. I can next previous through the pictures, but what I want to do is right now I'm just showing the pictures of these women leaders of the past and present. But what I want to do is make it so I show their name as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just add a label to my user interface. And that label, I'll just put a few dashes in to start, but what that's going to show is the name each time. Okay, so in the blocks, I'm just going to make a few changes. You know, the one way to do this is to add a new variable. Like I've got a variable of all the picture files, but what I'm going to do is also add a variable. So I'm going to come over to variables and just create a whole new variable, and I'm going to call it the name list. Okay, so here's name list, and I'm just going to copy this so I don't have to type everything again or grab everything again. And for these names, I'm going to say Rosa Parks, Grace Hopper, and Dorothy Vaughan, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and finally Kamala Harris. Okay, so I've got a name list, I've got a pick list, and still, this name list, it's just a variable, it's hidden. The user's not going to see this at all. So far I haven't done anything to help my case. And just one thing, these lists, notice they are correlate, right? They are synchronized. So the first picture relates to the first name, second picture, second name, and so on. So I'm really only going to have one index variable. Index kind of keeps track of my position. I don't need another index variable because when I'm on the first picture, I'm also on the first name. And really, all I need to do is, in all these event handlers, when the app opens, let's just bring this guy over a little bit. When the app opens, when I click next, when I click previous, not only do I need to change the picture that shows, but I need to change the name that shows. Okay, and we call this label 1, but let's go back and just rename this label. I'm going to name it the name label. I always leave the component name as the kind of suffix. The label is the type of component, but it's the name label because I'm going to stick everyone's name in that. Okay, back here on screen opens, let's just change our name label. So just like we want to set the picture, now we're going to find the set for the name label, grab this out, and we kind of want to do the same thing. We want to grab it from a list, but we want to grab it from a different list. So I'm going to copy what I did up here. And of course, that one was showing something from the pick list. But in this case, I want to grab from the name list. So all I'm saying is when the screen opens, change the text that's showing to the first item in name list. Okay, same thing on the next button. Just like I'm changing the picture, I want to change, in this case, the name label, and I want to change its text. Okay, and I'm not sure why I'm getting an error there. Maybe it didn't like that copy. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to come over here and just grab the name labeled set text. Okay, I'm just going to copy like I did before. Let's just grab, for the on the next button, I was grabbing the indexed item from the picks list. I still want to grab the indexed item, but I'm going to take it from name list. Okay, and I can actually copy this whole thing and use it for my previous button. So really, I'm just, let's see, when my copy goes, copy it again. So Command C, Command V, and there we go. So on the previous button and the next button, not only do I change my picture, but I change my name label, and I just have to make sure I choose from the other list, right, the name list. All right, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and test this out. Click on preview, and good. It's showing Rosa Parks as the first thing. That was from the screen opens, right? And if I click next, it's not only showing the right picture, but it's showing the right name. So anyway, pretty straightforward code. But, kind of the general things you want to, see that you learned is you can have these kind of synchronized lists where, the first item of one list, relates to the first item of the other list. Keep just one index, which keeps track of where you are kind of in both lists. And then just make sure to update whatever components you need to update on your next button and previous button.